Hey everybody, welcome to SWAMPCast 3.0, the revamp of the revamp. Because the last time we didn't quite make it too far. I think the current streak is 2 episodes. I think we can make it 3 episodes. What do you say?
I think we can get way more than that.
Yeah, we'll try. If we do 3 episodes, the next one do 4 episodes. Eventually, in 20 years from now, it will be good, right?
Oh, yeah.
When we're all famous.
Yeah, when we're all famous. Yeah, when Ion's getting his Oscar, when I'm homeless in Hollywood, you know? Yeah, that's when...
Homeless but famous.
Homeless but famous, yes.
Famous homeless person.
Yeah. So, these are all the officers here. We're missing one, Jocelyn. She's not here right now, but I did send her a bunch of questions, and she has answered them, and... Jocelyn will be here in spirit. I will be answering the questions.
Jocelyn's just going to possess Brek during the portions of her questions.
Yeah, I'll start like spazzing out before I talk in her first person perspective.
Yes.
All right, so again, my name is Brek. I'm the president of Aggie SWAMP. I am a civil engineer, class of 2024. And we'll say a little fun fact about ourselves. And it can't be film related.
Okay.
It has to be something else. Because every time they ask that question, it's always, oh yeah, I do film. Because everybody's like, wait, what? Somebody does film here? You know, like, I did sculpting in high school. That'll be my fun fact. Laura?
I'm Laura Rabb. I am a visualization major, class of 2024, hopefully. And the cool fact, you said no film, and that is all my cool facts.
Still cool film.
Like, yeah, if it's a really cool film fact, we'll allow
I
it.
can't say it on camera.
NDAs.
NDAs.
That's cool.
All right.
I
that's
NDAs in
I don't
film.
have any
Okay.
NDAs that I'm allowed to talk about.
Oh, I used to be a cartoonist for a long time, being like 3 years. And was mildly successful at it and went viral in Thailand for some reason. Like, I just had one comic strip go viral in Thailand. It's really funny.
What?
You really hit the Thai
Yeah,
audience.
well, I just...
Really hit home.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, and also in Portuguese, which was kind of... I don't know why. It was weird popping up, like, refreshing Instagram and then seeing posts.
Yeah, you just go to
recommended that were
you just go to
mine.
Thailand and somebody
Yeah.
stole
What
it.
is
The
that?
comic
Yeah.
is just on a billboard
Yeah.
in Thailand.
Yep.
It's theirs now.
It is theirs. Alright.
I don't know what I'm gonna say for my fun fact, but
Well, you can start with your name.
I'm getting there. Hello, my name's Erik Lindstrom, and I'm the historian for SWAMP, and I am currently a university studies major at A&M, and I guess a super fun fact is that I can play some things on guitar, and that's
That's really cool.
Nice.
super fun and great.
Yeah.
That's what I've got.
My name is Powell. I am the acting chair of SWAMP, which means I'm a literal chair. And my undergrad at A&M was material science, and I'm doing my master's in business right now. And my fun fact is I wish I were scuba diving right now.
My name is Everett Gay. I'm a junior this year, and I do sports management, and I'm the treasurer, I think.
Yeah, you are.
Swamp. Not very good start. And fun fact, I was the athlete in high school. Like, I didn't do any theater or anything like that, so it's like I wasn't able to thrive in this. So it's like finally being able to do it in college and being with all these people.
Everett's been let loose.
Yes, it's my true potential. Yeah.
I'm Sydney. I am a class of 2023. I'm a math major. And a little fun fact about me is... Damn, that's a lot harder than I thought. I really like doing cosplay.
Do you have a favorite cosplay you've done?
My favorite one is from my favorite anime. It's Sailor Mars from Sailor Moon.
Nice.
I still have it in my closet. It's the only one I haven't sold.
Okay, but what's your least favorite cosplay?
My least favorite one that I've done was, Erza's, like, it was one of Erza's costumes, was one with the really big wings. And
From what anime?
Fairy Tale, yeah.
Okay.
And I got like a bunch of weird people coming up to me and like weird conversations, so I hated wearing
Not
it
the
so
to go
much.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So out of those two anime, you say Sailor Moon is better than.
Well, Sailor Moon's my favorite anime,
Okay,
so I'm
yeah.
automatically going to say
Okay.
the best.
Because I want to be honest, Fairy Tale is one of the first animes I've ever watched. I watched it when I was 8.
It's good.
It's all right.
I will say,
I was
though,
gonna-
I fucking hate Lucy. I
Oh my
will
God.
beat her up.
Whoa! All
I
right.
hate her so much.
That's a lot of hate to a fictional
Man.
character.
Do you hate
You can't
Lucy,
fight
or do
back,
you hate
so it's
how
okay.
women are written in a lot of popular shonen?
It was mostly, I do hate how women are written in shonen, but I also just hate Lucy.
It's fair.
She wasn't the best
I
character.
thought you were talking
was
about.
The entire time. Sorry. I didn't
Speaking of that Ezra story, I watched a clip of something like a show called like Geek Love, which was like one of those faux documentary styles about doing like dating at like a convention, and there's this lady dressed as like Juliet Scarlet, or from Lollipop Chainsaw.
Okay.
I don't think I got her name right, but people were like.
Yeah.
In the cosplay, she's in the cosplay asking her if she played the video game. As the first question, it was.
Are you
It was
doing this
painful
just for
to
attention? You
watch.
actually
It
know
was
that, but
painful
I
to
hated
watch.
it so much.
Are you a gamer girl?
Are you? Prove it to me. I don't want to prove it to you. Okay. No.
But okay, so changing topic to parry off of what you said about how you in high school like weren't into like not into, but just didn't have a way to express
sports
it.
all year round.
Yeah.
Football in the fall and the summer, and then baseball in the spring. So it's like not being able. I did tech theater, and I built
Yeah.
the sets for
That's cool.
theater, but
That's
that
so
was
fun.
for a semester, and then that was it. Like I was always interested in movies and stuff like that, but I never really got to do anything until I was in college.
Yeah, that's what I love about Swamp, is that the kids that were passionate about this in high school and didn't have time for the extracurricular activity have found their community here in order to go forward and make things. It's really
But before we get on to the officer questions, let's talk a little bit about what Aggie Swamp is. Aggie Swamp stands for Aggie Screenwriting, Acting, Movie Production Club. So the whole club is dedicated to film discussion as well as filmmaking, and where all of the filmmaking and creatively like-minded individuals at A&M come and collaborate. So, on to the questions.
Yeah.
And you can't do a podcast about film, the first episode, revamped, if first question isn't, what is your favorite movie? But I expanded a little bit. What is your favorite movie or favorite director? Because I know favorite movie is a little hard to narrow down. Yeah, of course. But before I start, I want to say, I'm so sorry. I forgot to say who Jocelyn. Oh my gosh.
Just skip over her. She-
All right. Okay, so name's Jocelyn Santos, and she said, I am a class of 2024 studying zoology, and she is the Swamp Red webmaster, meaning that if you get an email, most likely it's coming from her. She said, I was one of those FFA theater hybrid kids in high school. I love animals, and I am currently studying to be a zoo veterinarian. I also have a great passion for acting, and have been acting since 6th grade.
Thanks for calling, Jocelyn. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can leave Brek for now.
Okay, I'm back. First question, what is your favorite movie director? I'm going to go and say Jocelyn's, and we can go around and...
Oh,
Who
yours
we
name,
think?
Jocelyn.
Yeah. So for Jocelyn, said my favorite movie based on pure nostalgia, which is Spider-Man 2 from 2004. I love it so much as a kid that I would jump off my couch and pretend to climb walls, which stressed my mom out. I don't do that anymore, but I still fantasize about it every now and then.
I hope she's not climbing.
Really going in.
That's what she's doing right now.
That's why she couldn't come.
Yeah.
She's
Stuck on the
climbing walls.
ceiling.
Yeah, she's swinging around, you know. My favorite director is harder to pick. As of right now, I have to say Ari Aster. I love the way he shoots scenes, and the amount of detail he puts in them is incredible. Ari Aster did Hereditary and Midsommar. So for me, okay. It's funny. I have a whole list of 20 favorite movies of all time. Most recently, I added Everything Everywhere All at Once into that list. I don't know how many people here have seen it. It's really good.
It's a crazy movie.
I've watched it 5 times and I've cried every single time I watched it.
Yeah.
I need to see it.
It's
But
really good.
I live under a rock.
but my favorite movie of all time, I think, has to be Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
I watched it, I think, 2 months ago when I was in a lot of like stress with. Actually, it would be 4 months ago because it was during May finals, and I realized that putting on that movie actually just comforts me, and so I put it on like once every 2 months or something like that. It is a really, really relaxing movie.
It's a movie
And
about
it's
sadness, like being alone.
There's something.
But there's more to it though.
Aesthetic is-
Its aesthetic is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that and the original Blade Runner are like peak
Can I say
cyberpunk in my
something
opinion.
off key? So like, there's a scene where the body comes down with the mud in it. I really want to know. Like, this sounds so weird. The mud looks really tasty. That the bots are made from. I really want to try it.
Yeah, that's their.
Looks
You
really
want the
I know it sounds
robotic
like
embryonic fluid?
it just looks delicious. Like, I know it's not gonna taste like
Couldn't say
chocolate,
the
but I
same.
can dare say it's probably gonna taste like dried mango. Anyway,
Just make it.
Yeah, there we go.
You can make it.
We'll make a Blade Runner fan film, and then we can have edible embryonic fluid.
What's it
And then we'll
called?
like rub it all over ourselves. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
we'll like hang out.
Yeah.
No.
girls' night.
It's like a spa, you know?
Yeah.
Who's playing Jared Leto in that case?
Me,
Of course.
obviously me.
You would most likely be the cult leader of all of us, unironically.
No.
Wait, why would you say no? You think you could be a cult
Who
leader?
would you think
You
would
think
be-
you could be a cult leader better than me?
Look at his beard. You see his beard? You see his
Yeah.
mustache? You know who else has a beard and mustache? Jared Leto. All right.
I don't think I've seen you two in the same room together either.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
Have you ever seen him?
Always. He doesn't see me though.
All right. I'm gonna
So menacing.
I'm gonna move this question of
Moving
the
on.
favorite movie director onto you.
No.
And so
I'm not ready.
no, just say that your favorite
Right.
movie is Morbius, so we can move on. You know.
Okay. Actually, I've been thinking about this. My favorite movie is.
The Room.
My favorite director is.
Tommy Wiseau.
You should do like a GPS automated voice. Just,
Yeah, AI generated voice. It's actually I'm being possessed by Jocelyn. You're being possessed by Stephen Hawking. Like just for a little
And
bit.
Jared Leto.
And Jared
At the
Leto.
same time.
Yep.
I am I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Lore. Aggie Swamp lore. All right. Who would you like to
Pass the ball.
pass the ball
reading.
to?
Oh, I get to pass the ball.
Oh
We're
yeah,
passing the
we should have gotten
ball.
an alligator and we could just.
that's true.
Talking to
We have plushes. I mean,
I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Alligators.
Everett.
So.
Oh yeah, there we go.
All right. I'm gonna go with the most generic director, or actually, I'm gonna Christopher Nolan or Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. Yeah, it's either one of those two because they're movies. It's like Christopher Nolan. It's always playing with time and it's like Inception and the multiple layers to it, or even Tenet, which didn't do too well. Is just playing with time and like always being a heist or there's some big plot point to it, and then Denis Villeneuve or what?
Yeah, no, you got that. That was perfect. I think.
Villeneuve. But it's just all his stuff is just so pretty. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because who's the cinematographer he normally works with?
Oh, Roger Deakins.
Roger
yeah.
Deakins, like from 1917 and stuff like that. His stuff is just so pretty. But then probably my favorite movie might be like Shawshank Redemption, just because
Yeah.
it's multiple. It's kind of like a ballad. It's like all the stories mixed into one, and it goes from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and 70s, and it just mixes them all in with like the other lives they affect, and it's just two guys, and it's all their friends and stuff like that. So it's just like it's an amazing story.
I will say for the Roger Deakins and the Villeneuve collab, they never collabed for Dune. How would you say the visuals in Dune is compared to some of the stuff they did
like
collab?
Dune as a story, but like I thought Dune, the visuals were pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, with how they did the special effects, instead of doing green and blue screen, they did the tan screen in the back just to
Yep.
kind of blend everything better. But and then everything's so crisp, even for just a single, like just everything being pretty much tan and brown and stuff like that, and you can see all the different colors in the each shot. It's just so pretty how it's all blended together.
Yeah, his visual storytelling is amazing. I think Dune was one of the only films recently he's made that he actually co-wrote. Because I believe he didn't co-wrote Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, I was a little lost on the Dune lore.
The Dune lore is...
I know it's like a remake, but it was just like I was just very lost through the movie. But I was trying to like keep up with the
There's
whole
a
thing.
king, and the doctor lied, and his wife was a spider, and
They're all off the space perk, basically.
Yep.
Exactly.
So
And then they go like invade another planet. or something
as
like
you would
that.
if you were.
And
Yeah.
then they gotta have some special filtration, humidity system where they're drinking their own sweat and stuff like that. So it's
Literally me.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what you do in your spare time.
You're gonna find out.
I don't want to
No,
know.
thank you.
Yeah, sweat for you, embryonic fluid for Laura. All right, who are you passing the ball
I'm
to?
gonna pass this to Eric.
Okay, I'm taking it. I'm gonna start with my favorite movie because I wouldn't really say I have a favorite director. Maybe I don't look into their techniques as much as I should, but I really like The Nice Guys, Guy Ritchie. Super good, super fun. Has Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe in it. If you haven't seen it, but
Did Guy Ritchie do Nice Guys?
he did
I
The
didn't
Nice
know that.
Guys?
I thought it was Shane Black. I swear it was Shane Black.
Maybe
It could be wrong. Because
I don't know.
Guy Ritchie, he makes some great
You might be
comedies.
right. Maybe you're right. But Guy Ritchie's the director that I think I like most of the films I've seen from him, like The Gentleman.
I can
What's
see
that? Man from Uncle is pretty good.
Mhm.
And I also really like King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword.
Ooh,
has
that's a spicy- that's honestly a
Charlie
spicy
Hunnam in
take.
It has really cool editing and stuff. So.
I know that wasn't very well received when it first came out.
Oh no, I didn't even know about it. I have it on DVD from somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Have you seen some of his like really much older work, like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
I think I started that one, or it might have been Snatch that I started, but one of them I did start, and it puts you right in the middle of it.
Yeah, Snatch is
good.
my favorite comedy.
It has Brad Pitt's The Fighter, whatever one that one is.
Yep, that's Snatch.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was pretty good. I only got halfway through it, but I would like to visit it again for sure. Okay.
Nice.
Am I working this over to someone?
Yeah.
there's a movie I'm trying to think of. Pass it to Sydney. I'm trying to think of what it is, and I can't.
Alright. Well, I'll also start with movie because I don't really know directors that well. My favorite movie used to be Singing in the Rain. It's a really old movie, but it makes me feel good every single time I watch it. So that's why it's been my favorite movie. But Everything Everywhere All at Once is now my favorite movie because
Nice.
every single time I watch it, I get like new wave of very bad emotions, but I like it. So
What's your favorite universe that they're in?
Sausage Fingers.
Sausage.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy sausage finger gloves from the A24 website.
That's fine.
And you can go.
I hate that.
Did you
I
see
hate
that in
all of
theaters?
those scenes.
Did you
That's
see
so
everything?
I saw
horrible.
it in theaters and then I watched it like at home 4 different times with different people. And every single time I tried not to cry, and then I would end up like literally in tears, bawling. So yeah.
I was
I
not
teared up.
expecting any of
It puts
that,
you
and
through
I was
it.
watching it on the way home from Boston, sitting in the airport in St. Louis, and some of those scenes came on. I had to kind of cover my computer screen because I didn't want somebody like some kids seeing like some of those fight scenes that were a little. out there.
Yeah, I sometimes forgot that like it sure is a R-rated movie because like what I associate with that movie is just like the emotion that I have for it. So I'm like, oh yeah, we should totally watch it. As like a 10-year-old child in the room, I'm like,
Nope.
yeah, definitely. And then I would pull it up, it's like R18. I was like, oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, Jabo Tebeki is gonna come for you.
It's a really good movie.
I guess a director that I really like is Key.
Key?
The one who made like
Oh, Jordan Peele.
Peele.
Yeah, that's not Key.
Peele.
Keegan
Yeah,
Peele
that's
is guy in Key and Peele.
Yeah, I associate them together, so my brain.
The other half of that coin.
I got the other half that's not the one who's making them.
Have you seen Nope yet?
I've not.
Oh, that's his
I
best.
see
I think
it.
that's
I've
his
only
best.
seen Note
Was
from him.
really
It was
good.
really good.
I haven't seen it yet.
Literally, I was grabbing my shorts like this with suspense. It was crazy.
Oh,
Super
God.
good movie.
I want to watch it, I just haven't had the time to. Yeah.
Sit like, not in the middle, but like a little closer. I think. It's like a perfect. I went to the Alamo recently and saw it again. I was way too far back to get, because there's a scene in it where.
Oh, don't say too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't
pretty-
The
watched
closer
it.
you are,
Is
the
it
easier it
very
is to see
loud?
things.
Got it.
Is it very loud?
No,
Or you,
I wouldn't say. Well, I guess the Alamo is not the place to see it, but
yeah.
a normal movie theater.
For like good experience, like I saw Dunkirk in a very small
Yes.
Oh,
with the
same.
volume turned all the way up, and in the very
Yes.
beginning, there's a gunshot that goes off, and it scared the crap out of me. It was
Yep.
the very first one, and it was the speaker was right behind me. It was perfect experience because it's like every time somebody was shooting,
Yeah.
I was like on edge, and it was set, and then I left the theater, my ears were ringing, so it was like good
Just like
enough.
every Nolan film, your ears just ring after you leave.
Plane explosions and all that kind of stuff.
I saw that with my dad. I don't really remember much of it, but I do remember thinking it was very loud in the theater.
It was like a theater, like it was like a one where you get to like eat the food and
Yep.
stuff, and it was like very very small, but like there's speakers everywhere, and they just cranked up the volume. It was perfect.
I believe it's a same cinematographer for Dunkirk. Did Nope. Hoya van Hoytema.
Oh,
I think that's
he
his
is,
name.
Yeah, he is.
He's amazing. He did some of the recent like Nolan films. He did Interstellar and Tenet as well.
Because when they were in Dunkirk, he was holding the 100-pound IMAX camera on his shoulder while they're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and
Yep.
it's just like they were like, I don't know how this big man can hold this big camera on his shoulder when it's supposed to be mounted on something, and
Yeah.
it's just like rocking in the sea and stuff.
I looked it up. It was Shane Black.
Haha.
I have a memory of looking it up and then going, oh, Shane Black. This is not who I thought it was. And I saw that he made Predator or directed.
Oh
or
no,
wrote
we don't talk
Part.
about that one.
don't? Okay,
we don't
well.
talk about that one.
We don't talk about Predators.
Predator doesn't exist. 2018,
Okay.
that one doesn't exist.
No, yeah, I never saw it. But I've heard that new one's good. I've heard it's really
Oh,
good.
Prey? Yeah, Prey was fun. I saw Prey. All
My
right.
favorite movie is The Room by Tommy Wiseau. And my favorite director is Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, yeah.
That's not true. Don't put that in. I have a better answer
I
there.
love the Disaster Artist.
I haven't seen it yet.
Fantastic.
Have you gone yet, Laura?
I've
I-
not.
Yeah, you're still in
But-
there.
I feel like you should watch Disaster Artist only after you've read the book, because it doesn't cover like everything
Gotcha.
in the book. Obviously, it's good, but the book goes like much more.
So, man, I think my recent favorite is Mandy, which is the kind of like the basic answer of this particular group. I love that movie, and it's something that I want to go forward trying to emulate. But I grew up on a lot of Jim Henson movies, like Dark Crystal was my favorite movie for a long time, like that high fantasy like super creature look, and it's not like these movies are somewhat like Dark Crystal's polished, but there's several that just aren't good, like The Labyrinth, which is just like story-wise just one big David Bowie music
That's why
video.
it's good.
Which isn't
Yeah,
bad, which is
yeah.
never a bad thing.
That's
But-
why it worked out.
These creature designs are just beautiful. These worlds that he built. I also love Guillermo del Toro, and the Hellboy movies, like his movies. Those are my comfort films. Those are the movies I go watch whenever it gets really stressful. I love Hellboy, the comics by Mike Mignola so much. And Alien also, Mike Mignola did a re-illustration of Alien too. It was really cool. So I also love Alien. Water, it's important.
Stay hydrated, folks.
Yeah. That's
he did Pacific Rim.
Oh.
I really like Pacific Rim.
That was a fun
People
movie.
that didn't like it as much.
We should do favorite piece of media, because I don't know if film includes everything, because like
I have an answer
shows
now.
now have expanded.
That's true.
I have a legitimate answer
The
now.
Room, Tommy Wiseau.
My favorite movie is Annihilation.
Oh
That's
yeah.
a
Love
good
Annihilation.
one.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman.
Tessa
Yeah,
Thompson.
They go into the Oh my god, what
So
is it
I
The
do
Shimmer.
have-
The Shimmer, yes.
I do have a
They're,
comment
like,
for
trying
you.
to
The,
take it
the
out.
soundtrack is incredible.
I think it's one of the best horror soundtracks ever made. Up there, top 3 at least. Wow, 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 wow.
Oh, that movie gives me chills like no other movie. Like
So I read the books and then watched the movie and then
I still have Brek's copy.
So
Yes, you do.
So the books are nothing like the movie, but that is
I hear.
completely intentional because the director read the books and made an abstraction from the movie.
I hear.
Also, the author's Twitter is really cute to follow because it's either about raccoons and like moss and like doing these really detailed and horrific like explanations of some transformation, or like beefing with his like nearby HOA. Not HOA, no, like city council. Like for some reason, this one city council Twitter is just making stuff up or so. Not like that. It's just like it's really funny to be on my timeline, but I have no context for it whatsoever. But sorry. Read the book. I really enjoyed I really enjoyed how they did this film because it was not meant to be like the book, just an abstraction from it,
Yeah.
which was cool.
I think Annihilation is the best example of modern kind of Lovecraftian existential horror. Like what else has really done that well?
I feel like every horror's kind of been done already, and they just kind of redo it, rebrand it every year, and it's just the same thing every year.
I feel
That's like
a
all
lot
the
of
Conjuring movies.
Stories, dude. I felt like a lot of the same genre.
Yeah.
Just following the same format.
Like all the Paranormal Activity. It's like the first one is phenomenal. And they just try to redo it. They did it
Yep.
4 times to where it was like they go back to the first movie in the last one, and that was the only interesting part of the movie.
Yeah, Halloween's the same way. Like,
There's only so many ways you can redo the same character without straying from their.
I worked on a horror remake.
you want to talk about it?
we are in
Is that all we're
remake hell.
getting?
No.
we're
It was cool. It was cool. No,
I don't know.
didn't know
This
anything
year's
about
actually
film.
been pretty good for horror movies. Well, we got actually I heard Scream was it Scream 5? I heard that was actually good. I haven't seen any of the
I
Scream
haven't seen
movies.
it either.
Scary Movie 5.
Under foot?
On the other.
Yes.
Yeah, they got X, Bodies, Nope. I mean those
Bodies was good
those are
too.
they got some great horror movies coming out this year. We'll see about Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
My favorite director
Or Halloween
is
Ends.
obviously Robert Rodriguez. Spy Kids, you know.
Austin Native.
Yeah.
I
No.
have to say, I love the creatures from the Spy Kids movies.
I do like
They're
those
pretty
guys.
great.
I
That's a
like,
joke, that's a
I like
joke.
how
I still have like dreams about
The thumb people.
The thumb people,
I
yeah.
thought about the thumb
I think I know
Oh
some
my
people
God.
that look like the thumbs.
Okay, when I was younger, I would do this and take a picture, and it looked like one of the thumb people. Well, I have the beard now. If I didn't have the beard, I could show you. But
I have to say, I kind of want to build a cosplay of one of the thumb people, but I need
That'd be
it
very
would be
popular.
That'd be
really
very
fun.
cool.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome.
I think you could do it in time for Halloween.
but actually though,
I think you know who my actual favorite director is.
I think I do.
Just say it. Just say it.
No, it needs
Just
to
say
come out of your
Just
mouth.
say
No, it
I
needs to
wanna
come out of
know-
your
I
mouth.
want to know if you know.
It's your answer, man.
It's
not
more
for
important to me.
Oh, hold on. I see it. Yeah, here. This is the. You got the talking
It's
pillow.
this talking stick.
Yeah, you got the talking pillow now.
You don't have to talking stick.
Yeah, none of you have the talking stick. Only I get to talk right now.
No.
Wow, that
You
kind of
two-
defeats the purpose, of a talking stick.
You're being so ironic right now.
Yeah,
You're so quirky. My favorite director is
Oh,
Taika
thank you.
Waititi.
Okay.
Have you
I re-
watched the pirate show that came out?
I have not. I really want to see
It
it.
is very sweet.
I
think
hear
you
it's
would
very
really
good.
enjoy it if you want to sit down and like watch. Oh man, I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to spoil it, but the way I wanted to talk about was a spoiler. So, continuing on.
Harkening back to Robert Rodriguez, have you seen any film by him that was good? Like,
I've only seen Spy Kids and,
Okay.
and Book of Boba
Okay.
Fett.
and all of the really awful things he did with Star Wars.
There's there's
man.
good movies, but then he also was able to get paid to make more movies. So there's they gave some people jobs.
He's up there, and we're
Yeah,
back.
he's a parasite, and we're. Oh, that's a joke. That's a joke.
We'll get there one day.
We'll be
I
parasites
don't
too.
know, man.
That's
I
the
wish.
goal, to be a parasite.
Okay, so I do have a story to tell. I'm not gonna name any names, but I was in a shoot once, and it was in one scene where we're in a confined space with 2 other actors, and the director was directing the actors and what to do. And then one of the actors said, "Oh, come on, you can't direct like this. You got to direct it like what Robert Rodriguez said." He was being 100% unironic, and I thought that was really funny. He watched the Robert Rodriguez directing school or his filmmaking school, because that is a thing.
So wait,
That does, absolutely.
I actually don't have a lot of context. I know he just made the Spy Kids movies.
Okay, he did. I think he did Sin City, which is one of his most popular. I think it's a little overrated.
The new one?
But I wonder Bruce Willis in it.
Okay.
And his first movie he did, why he's very well known as like one of some of the better directors of our recent time, is he did a movie in the 90s called El Mariachi, which is a film that he completely financed by himself. I don't know if it was during or after film school. Completely by himself with a $7,000 budget, and for actors and actresses and all that, he brought in his friends and family to act, and it was like this huge action film. There were like bus stunts with a $7,000 budget.
I don't know how you do that.
And most of that money was from the film stock, because they didn't have digital back then. That movie made $2 million.
Wow.
And he got most of that money, and so that put him on the map.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then he eventually worked with Quentin Tarantino for the Grindhouse films. He did his most recent really good movie he did was Alita Battle Angel. I don't know if y'all.
I loved the manga for that one.
That was actually
the movie was okay. I think it got memed to shit though.
it did.
Like there was a little bit of a this looks
Got
like
more-
Nicki Minaj stupid hoe Snapchat.
It got kind of Shark Boy and Lava Girl a little bit at the end
Yeah.
in some points.
So
I really wish they could have done the gore that was from the manga in that series.
Yeah.
I think that would have been awesome.
I think it was PG-13, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had to make a PG-13 in order to have something that is that expensive to make, or at least, I mean, you can make inexpensive movies that make a lot of money, but they needed to either fully commit, not commit at all with the large budget they had. But I really wish I'd seen that brought to screen. I remember loving that manga so much.
Yeah, it's always like that is interesting to me, because he started with $7,000 budget, and then during his career, 25 something ish years later, he directed a movie with, I think it was like $190,000 budget, $190 million budget, or something along the line.
$2.
Yeah, they said make Alita Battle Angel with $7,000. Here you go.
For $2, we got
Did
wedded
it once, you
to.
can do it again.
I can only assume that those Book of Boba Fett episodes were so bad because of the writing room, not because of Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, it's probably. I mean, his. But here's the thing, though. Like, he was an executive or just a regular producer of Book of Boba Fett, and some of his style is there. And I think some of the style in Book of Boba Fett is his style is the worst part of it.
Yeah.
Like the Scooter Gang.
Though, if they had the same
Scooter
style
Gang.
but different writing, it would have been good. Like,
Yeah, but the Scooter Gang, man, that's so him. Like that's
you're
so
right.
him.
Oh, you're right.
That's 100%
My
him.
kids.
That's the Spy Kids stuff.
I've seen pictures of that. It looked like a merchandising opportunity.
It's
Yeah.
not Star Wars. I refuse to believe that was Star Wars. Like,
Yeah. I've been sad about the current state of Star Wars. I have hope for Andor, though. Come on, Andor.
who's
Make
seeing-
something good.
Who's seeing the
It's not gonna be good.
Who's seeing the Rogue One? They're re-releasing Rogue One.
Yeah.
Rogue One
That was
Really?
actually
Yeah.
pretty
It's a
good.
good movie.
It was
I
really
thought it
good.
Super good.
I
Because
might
they
go
don't
see
have
it.
to continue anything. They can
Right?
just do it
I
all.
I remember getting home from like a early release because it came out on a Friday, but we watched it Thursday night. And my brother goes, "Okay, spoil it. What happened?" I go, "I'm not going to spoil it. Spoil it. Everyone dies." You're kidding, right? Just don't say anything after that. that was a really good Star Wars movie.
Great movie.
It's a literally reversed sequel. Like
Yeah.
My
completely reversed.
my favorite character is Saw Gerrera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Forrest Whitaker. I
Forrest
think that's his name. Whitaker. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
he's
his name.
he's from Texas, actually.
Is he?
From East Texas somewhere. I think, it's Longview.
Okay, I got a couple more questions
Yeah.
left. That was a good talk. All right. Question 2.
BoJack Horseman.
Dang you. So okay, question 3. All right. What movie would you recommend to people who are interested in film? So it may not be your favorite movie, but a movie that has like amazing filmmaking qualities, or a film that somebody who is going into filmmaking or is currently doing filmmaking could take some elements of.
I got it. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Unironically, yes.
Unironically, just get, how to make people just feel uncomfortable. Just constant bad trip entire movie.
For inverse of that, Secret Life of Walter Mitty, I think would be a great film to show someone. At least get them interested in cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
It's very pretty, showing the landscape. Like, was it Iceland or Greenland that they were in, that he traveled to in the movie?
I want to say Iceland. I think it was Iceland.
I think that was like the first time I'd seen Iceland in a movie, and it's just seeing the mountains and all that. And it's just very pretty.
And that longboarding down the airport.
That was just like, some of the movies with the best visuals is just zero dialogue, and you just kind of soak it all in. So you're not focusing on the dialogue; you're focusing on like what's on the screen. So like, you better hope that there's something pretty on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, also Joel Haver's movies, because they're so low budget. And
his little short films he does on YouTube.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. He does full movies.
Oh, he does full?
He has 10
I did not know that.
full movies.
I did not know
He's
that.
made a lot of them. And then every year during the Oscars, instead of watching the Oscars, he has basically a competition where everyone makes a film in 24 hours.
That's great.
And you send it in. And I want to do that.
A feature?
A feature film. And you have to make it in 24 hours. That's improv all of it, make it on the spot.
I would be so down to help with that. That sounds great. I did not know about
that.
that.
To do it too.
I did not know about that.
We should try and get as many people as possible.
Yeah.
In Swamp to do that. It'd be fun.
That's just a new in Swapnia. Just the Joe Haver competition, you know?
Yeah, send it to Joe Haver. And
We're all going to work together just in a tight little room for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. For what Jocelyn said, she said, for me, recommending a movie to someone depends on what aspect they're looking for. If they are looking for something that is stylistic and relies on unconventional visuals to set the mood, I would recommend John Wick or The Royal Tenenbaums or anything Wes Anderson film related. If you're looking for overall storytelling and a good flow, I would recommend Jaws or The Thing.
Yeah. I like the Wes Anderson because it's like everything feels like it could be in a cartoon, and the use of miniatures for like what was the hotel one?
Grand Budapest.
Yeah,
Hotel.
Grand Budapest. Like the hotel showing it in like post Cold War, like Soviet era, and then showing it in the heyday and stuff. But it's like it's all miniatures, and then you see just people like silhouettes running around, and it's so pretty. Like I love the use of miniatures. But like if I had to recommend anything, it would probably be like 1917 for the. It had pretty visuals too because everything's so crisp, and like even in the darkest moments, you can still see some very pretty things.
Is that the one that was like technically like a one?
It was a whole one-shot take, and it's like it's fun to watch the movie and see how many like cuts you can make or cuts you can find in it. But it's like the tricky way of like motivating the camera and getting it to move in a certain way to show something new.
The interesting about that is I when I saw it in theaters with a bunch of friends, we did a competition to see how many cuts we could find, and I think we got to like a dozen or something, and then apparently there's like 25 total, and I looked it up, and the way they do some of the cuts is they get full CG characters, like perfect CG characters, and they would splice it in between like just them walking, and it's seamless. It's completely seamless.
That's impressive.
There's one where they're in no man's land, going in the mud, and they slide down into a ditch and stuff, and or he crawls over the ditch, and it's a CG body. And then there's one where he hops off the bridge into the water, and that's CG. And
Like,
it's like it's difficult. But
I don't understand how a film like that was made.
If you want
Like,
to talk about deep compositing, I can talk about that later. I just need to go look something up real quick, but that's...
that whole thing could be a podcast on its own. Like,
it's
deep compositing visual
one-shot
effect.
take movies I think they're beautiful in itself. Like, because it's like everything has to be motivated to keep the thing going. You had the amount of planning you have to do. So they had to walk out in the middle of a field, and it's like, all right, we're gonna take the script and read the dialogue how we would normally act it, and it's like, all right, it takes 8 minutes, we stop right here, okay, that's when this trench ends, okay, we gotta, and it's like everything is just planned out so meticulously. But another one I could suggest would be the new Elvis movie, just because of Baz Luhrmann and his like editing. And I don't know if y'all have seen it. The editing, it felt like a documentary, but it was also like everything was so pretty about it.
It's a unique movie.
With it's like different film cells throughout the thing showing different actions all at once, and it was cutting back in between his life in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, and it's like it just, everything ties together so pretty. But then like production design and the costuming was awesome as well.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good stuff about Elvis. I've been meaning to see that.
Like taking Graceland somewhere like that's seen the second most visited house in the United States, and they take it from the 50s, 60s, and 70s and change it all the time, and then the styles, it's just awesome.
Neat. Anybody got anything?
I was gonna recommend that one.
The Elvis movie?
Yeah, not the Elvis one, the 1917.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just like, cause there's different types of like film as well, not just like in like live action film. I think maybe if people were interested in getting into maybe like animation, then what was it? Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Wes Anderson.
It's a very heartwarming movie.
Yeah,
it's very fun.
It is.
It's like a heartwarming movie, but it's also a heist movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Paddington.
I've never seen Paddington.
Actually,
It's like one of
movie.
the highest rated.
It's a good movie.
I think Paddington 2 is currently the highest on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think
Paddington 3 is coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's gonna be the greatest trilogy of all time, competing with Godfather and
Star Wars.
The Dark Knight.
Yes.
Shrek is really good.
Oh yeah.
As a trilogy or as a film? Because as a
Okay.
film, I agree with. As a trilogy, I don't know.
Well, was
The
the
Shrek
third
3
movie the one
video
where he
game
was like...
That was bad. The third
Well,
movie
not
was,
great.
He used to go find Arthur.
Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The fourth one is where he meets Rumpelstiltskin.
which I was
And he
good.
goes back
That
in
was pretty
time
good.
and has no family.
Okay. All right. By show of hands, now this should be an easy question for everyone. Which movie is better, Shrek 1 or Shrek 2? Raise your hand if it's Shrek 2.
Yeah.
You guys don't think Shrek 2 is the better movie?
With like the music,
It's the music for me. It's the music for
It's a
me.
better movie than
I
the first
Just
one.
to justify yourself.
Toy Story
Shrek
2 is
2.
amazing.
It's
as well.
Shrek 2 is the
I don't
God
have
I'm just not
and
confident in my
godmother
answer.
singing and
I do
experienced
really
like a
like
human. I thought that one was 3 for a second, to be honest.
Shrek 2 is more memorable for me.
I
It
do
is.
like Shrek 2.
It's more memorable. I think the music's better in Shrek 2 also.
It just builds off the first one. Like
I mean,
it's
this-
just the first one. The first one's great. Don't get me. I would almost call it a masterpiece. But
It's amazing.
Shrek 2 is everything that Shrek 1 is, just a little bit better. Like it has more memorable stuff out of all of it.
Even like I like Toy Story 2 better than the first one because it's like
I don't remember any of
It
that.
is better than the
2
first
was
one.
the one where they almost
Woody
died.
gets taken.
Which-
They have
Oh.
to go on a
Toy
whole
Story 2
adventure,
stressed me
and then
out.
they have to like
Ah,
basically
yeah, you're
save
right.
him.
Uh-huh.
The whole airport
And it's
scene.
like it's not we're gonna go on an adventure. It's like how is this toy gonna go travel 7 miles down? And then you have also like Al from Al's Toy Barn, the greatest villain of all time.
Oh yeah.
I forgot. Was Toy Story 2 the scene that everybody talks about in Toy Story series where he's rebuilding Woody? Was that 2?
Yes.
That's
That was 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old man, Jerry's
Yeah, uh-huh.
game is like you can't rush art.
He has the cheetah dust all over his fingers, and yeah, I agree. Toy Story 2 is better. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was trolling. We do a little trolling.
But for like a movie to watch to like get you in the mood of filmmaking or something, I do recommend a lot of films by the Safdie brothers. They did Good Times and Uncut Gems.
Yes.
Those are both, I would say,
Uncut Gems is
masterpieces.
really good.
Those are incredible. Best Adam Sandler performance, and it's just they know how to stress you out.
A lot
Like
of
they've
films
got it
don't
down
give-
to a science.
A lot of films don't give me anxiety, but those two
Yeah.
films specifically give me anxiety.
It's and I talked about it. The way they do it is, it's all through audio. There is never a moment where there is like a blank amount of audio during an argument scene. They would intersplice like all of the different voices all at once instead of having one talk and then another one talk. It's just all one cohesive like
Noise.
Everybody's
string of
talking
noise.
over
Yeah.
each other and like yelling. It's not linear.
That's
It's very
super interesting.
polite. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think a good way to kind of also understand like the basics of cinematography is also like watching theater, because you can see like there's lighting, there's costuming, there's like how are you going to stage the plays, how are people going to stand, how are they going to yourself, that type of stuff. So I think also like watching theater is really good into understanding just like basics of film.
Yeah, especially a lot of like the mise en scène of it, like the visual looks of it, for sure. Is there anybody here who hasn't answered?
Yes, but I don't think I can come up with a reliable answer
It's okay,
and a reliable.
We also came up with like a
Second favorite
bunch of
movie.
I don't know.
stuff.
Yeah,
Second
basically.
favorite movie.
I don't know. Because obviously I've seen movies before, but I can't think of a really good description of why I should, why I should tell you to watch this movie or
Any
that
movie
movie.
that stood out to you and just made you like, oh my gosh.
It's like you should watch this movie because it's pretty.
Yeah. I really like The Gentleman. I think that's a fun movie. I wanted to remember a movie that does a really good job of like setting things up in the beginning and calling back to it at the end.
Guy Ritchie's really
stuff
good at doing that.
And The Gentleman just does a good job of showing all the different little plot points and as they interconnect and then it ends. I really like stuff like that. But it's just a good film. It has good everything in it, so it's a good watch for sure, I think.
Awesome. All right.
When I want to get inspired for making something, I watch Pilot Red Sun. The guy who did Garfield, Not So Fast. Garfield, Jan, order some lasagna.
Yeah.
I ate those food.
Yeah.
I know.
The text-to-speech voices.
Yeah.
The really bad MS Paint drawings.
Honestly,
It's
a lot
so
of the
good.
animated channels, YouTube channels you were showing me, are really inspiring.
Umami, too.
Umami's, that's my favorite. Umami's
Minute
amazing.
Hour.
Oh yeah, my
Amazing.
Meat Canyon, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Meat Canyon's
fire.
great. Has anyone else here seen the Minute Hour?
I have not.
Yes.
He is great. He's actually, there's a good chance he's going to help us voice in something. So.
Ooh.
Cool.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
If you like Meat Canyon, you'd probably like Sick Animations if you haven't watched that.
Mhm.
But it's
Oh,
fun. Very
Ethereal
similar.
Snake. Ethereal Snake also. I think he worked with Meat Canyon in some ways, I think. But he also brought Joel Haver and the Minute Hour together for a video that was really good.
Yeah, you can't forget about Voon. Is that how you say it?
Bone.
Bone,
I
Bone.
forgot about
Yeah.
Bone. Bone is really good.
Mhm.
She did Catopolis and a bunch of other really good animations on YouTube. It's very surreal and abstract the way she does the animation. So the sense of perspective is always kind of strange. Like everything's kind of curvy. It's like I saw this stupid YouTube thumbnail clickbait. It's like, why Bone's bad art is actually good art. It's like, it's not bad art. Don't call it bad art. It's good art.
Art is subjective.
Right? There's no such thing as bad art.
These animations suck, but here's why it's actually pretty good. All right. This next question is a question I based off a previous podcast episode because in the first I think it was SWAMPCast 2.0, very first episode. When we were doing the same officer introductions at the time, somebody said, I forgot who it was, I think it was Jacob, said his favorite movie is Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And it might be it's a hot take, and that caused a lot of arguments for about 20 minutes.
Okay. When I watched The Last Jedi for the first time, I really liked it when I walked out of the theater. I was like, that was really different. That was really interesting. But the more I thought about it,
The worse it got. Like,
the more I
this
thought
is a
about
Star
what
Wars
it
movie.
did
Oh,
to
this is
the
a Star
overall
Wars
plot,
movie.
I just went, that was bad. That was bad too. Why did they do that? What was the point? Like, it was fun in the moment when it kind of shocked you, but beyond that, you really look at the movie as a whole. Nothing happened. Nothing happened
God,
that whole movie.
The casino was the dumbest thing.
The
I'm
casino
sorry. It
did
was-
nothing. Like don't get me wrong. The idea of the concept of the casino, not a bad idea. They did nothing with it.
And that has that whole subplot, right? With they
Finn
go
and
and do the
Rose?
heist and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
yeah, and that guy turns him in or whatever, and his character is lame.
It subverted your expectations.
Yeah.
Now Ryan Johnson's a good director. I loved Knives Out.
He did he directed some of the best episodes of Breaking Bad too.
Yeah, The Fly is one of my favorite episodes.
What
Was that the question?
No. So the question is based off of that podcast episode. Do you have any movie-related hot takes that you would like to expose? Because we all the best part about Swamp is some of the discussions that we have. And what better way to discuss stuff?
Okay, I talked to you about this. This is my hot take about Marvel movie. Like,
I was about to say something about Marvel.
I think Age of Ultron's a really good movie. I know a lot of people disagree. A lot of people think that's one of the worst Avenger movies. I think it's one of the better ones.
Worst hot take. I just hate all Marvel movies.
I was about to say,
Every single one?
I don't know.
Every single one.
It's because every single one is literally just the same movie over
A lot
and
of
over
them are.
and over and over and over and over
Jenny and
again.
I are on the same wavelength. It's like every Marvel movie is the exact same.
Okay, but
it's the same premise and the same setup in each one.
And like even
And
the
it's-
personalities and the background characters are all the same
little,
people.
the little jokes, the little jabs in there. You could take a couple of those out.
He's right
and it
behind me,
would be,
isn't he?
would be like it's so much better.
I will say it's getting a lot worse these past couple of years. Before I can get behind. Like,
Okay,
you can't say that. You can't.
Marvel
You can't say that
movies.
for Iron Man.
Marvel
Like,
movies are starting to be written like a corporate company that realizes it is a
It's cookie
megacore
Oh, yeah.
cookie cutter thing, but trying to disguise itself as, oh, I'm down to earth, I'm a quirky little character.
Well, everyone's gonna
Because
go
they
watch
can
it
market
anyway,
the same
so.
plot, knowing that following the hero's journey to a T will bring them in success. At the same time, they're trying to keep you interested with the characters. That's what we see them do with Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just not working. People are getting burnt out. Well, I mean, it is working. It's bringing in a lot of
it's
money.
still making
It
money.
is still making money because people are still watching
And I'm
them, and
still
you can't
sadly gonna
enjoy
go
them.
into the theater to watch
I
it.
think a lot
Go
of
in
it's
and
What-
nostalgia,
Yeah.
and then also it's like, well, now we have Hulk, Iron Man, and Black Widow all in this movie, and then
Yeah.
it's like there's gonna have those 3 plus 6 more in the next one, and it's just like feeding off of people just wanting to see all the characters interact with each other in the same movie.
Also,
It-
not. Sorry, go ahead.
Huh?
Sorry.
Oh, it's like they could have. I feel like they could have done way more with what was the last Spider-Man movie? No Way Home.
Yeah.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. They had all like Adrian Molina or what was his name?
Andrew Garfield.
Doc Ock.
No,
No, that's-
the actor. He's a great actor.
Yeah. Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina. Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe, all these other guys, plus Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and they only used those 2 towards the last 45 minutes of the movie. It's like I feel like they could have done way more.
At the same time, how? Like, that's so many people.
The older Spider-Men come in to help and take the younger Spider-Man under their wing because they've done more things.
Speaking of
Because Tom Holland's Spider-Man is just kind of like whiny and stuff like that.
Wow, you hate Marvel movies, and yet you went to see the Marvel movie.
I actually
Curious.
didn't. I found it on the legal website.
Okay, sorry. It's okay.
I did not give them my money.
Speaking of No Way Home and like Tom Holland, there's 2 points here. Okay, No Way Home. First off, whenever at the beginning of the movie, Doctor Strange's like, yeah, okay, I'm fine with forgetting you. Let's just make everyone forget, right? And then at the end of the movie, he's like, oh, I'm so sad that I have to forget about you, Spider-Man. Where did that progression come from? The last thing that they had was like he trapped him in the fucking mirror dimension.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Secondly, not that I don't like Tom Holland. Tom Holland as a person is great. He has such a great personality, very charismatic. Him as an actor, I don't actually really like him. A lot of the movies that
okay,
I've watched him in
wait.
is very mediocre.
Wait,
I
hold
think
on.
he's good.
Hold on.
And he's also like him as Peter Parker is just Tom Holland. Him as Spider-Man is just Tom Holland. And it's like, because look with Andrew Garfield, him as like Peter Parker, not the best Peter Parker. He's the best
smooth.
Spider-Man.
Are you saying? Are you
And
saying?
Tom and Tobey Maguire is a really good Peter Parker, but a really bad Spider-Man.
He's scary.
And but Tom Holland is
I
not
like
good
that.
at either of them. He's just average. He's just like a Tom Holland in a Spider-Man outfit.
Are you saying Spider-Man is British? Huh? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Two out of the
This
3
fucking
are all
Spider-Man.
British.
Oh,
I'm not saying he's bad. I just think he's very mediocre.
And it's like No Way Home. They also did the Spider-Man pointing meme.
They did.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing it for the fans.
I don't mind a little fan service.
Yeah.
It's like I
did that too
knew
in
coming into the
Spider-Man.
movie somewhere it was
Well,
gonna be
Into the
bad.
Spider-Verse did that too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but
and that's the best Spider-Man. Or
That's
like
the best. I
unironically,
agree. Great
Like,
movie.
not even
What was
close
that
to
movie?
me.
Did you guys? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think Tobey Maguire might be nostalgia, but it's like I like those better with Sam Raimi and stuff, and it's like because it feels like a real movie with like a beginning and an end, and it's like the Tom Holland ones. It just feels like another Avengers movie
Well,
because
now they're all
throwing
set
all
up
the
too. All of them are set up. There's no like.
yeah exactly. But it's
Yeah.
like the
Concrete
setup
ending.
was what feels solid about it.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a solid setup, then the next one can be good, and it's 3, and then it's like you're good to go.
Did you guys watch any of the Marvel TV shows? Like
Yeah,
Daredevil
most of them are not great.
Garbage.
Loki
Really?
was the best of them.
I like Loki.
Loki was the best. And Moon Knight.
I really like Moonlight.
Yeah, Moonlight was good.
I liked Loki, but I also did not like Loki because they fooled me. They're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a show about Loki. It was, but about female Loki. How dare they?
Hey, I don't know about that.
I thought the second episode was really good.
Try to tell me she is not the main character. Try to tell me that Loki is the main character. Not
Well,
she.
Loki
She is Loki.
yeah,
That is Loki.
yeah, that is
wrong,
Loki.
the wrong one's not the
That's a
right
good
one.
question.
Wrong
I got all
one.
worked up.
Wrong
No,
one.
that's
See,
right.
I knew exact. I knew this would get everybody, get everybody going.
Female
So
Loki's a better Loki. Female Loki is the better Loki.
I'm not gonna argue with that. But I wanted to see the male Loki. Okay,
and you got a bit of it. Hey, it's there.
Personal reason.
It's there.
I wanted to see the other Loki.
So you guys didn't like Punisher or like Daredevil?
I haven't seen it yet.
Although you can't
Punisher
compare
is-
them.
I don't think Punisher kind of fits into that category. It's kind of like Sony Spider-Man
That's true.
Yeah.
with the rest of Marvel. It's like Punisher
Or
it's
Daredevil,
like,
or all that.
John
Oh,
Bernthal wanting it to be rated R, so you can
Yeah.
have blood.
It is
gore.
gory.
It's
It's
brutal.
so.
That's not typical Marvel. Where it's like, well, we gotta save half of New York, and then you destroy New York and cause $100 trillion in damage.
I
I
would.
kind of want to say of
that,
Invincible.
Like that's so violent.
It's so brutal. It's like stuff you don't see.
But it also feels so much more real, you know.
Yes, and I think reality, like things based in reality, is like makes for a better movie. Is which is probably why I like only Batman really, because it's like Pattinson. He's a detective. Christian Bale, he could literally go beat the crap out of people. He's not like, I mean, there is some cool gadgets and stuff, but they literally built a tumbler and they literally built like these Batmobiles that actually work and stuff. So it's like based in reality. I mean, you might not.
Yeah, those films are based.
So a
you
friend.
might-
I think
have a
Invincible.
psychotic
Have you seen
Joker.
Invincible?
Amazing.
It
Amazing
also
show.
kind of hits that kind of brutality notes of just having a superhero show that's really dark.
The Boys does that as well. I think The
I need
Boys
to watch
weirdly does that a little bit better for me, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, I just started on The Voice because I just now got like a video. So
It's fun.
it's good.
If you like that social commentary, you know.
I do.
Before we continue, let's get Jocelyn's response here. I'm not sure if this is a hot take, but Spider-Man 3 isn't as bad as people say it is. Spider-Man. she knew. With Venom.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And,
with
and
what's his name?
Sandman.
That guy from
Topher Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70 show.
It definitely has flaws, but there are a lot worse movies out there. For an actual hot take, though, Frozen is not as good as people think. I don't think that's a hot take. I don't like Frozen.
Yeah.
That would have been a hot take.
After all of the middle school talent shows where it was just someone belting out a let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
But it's like for kids, so I think it's like
Of course,
Yeah,
it is
for
made
like
for
a
kids.
movie.
Yeah, I
haven't
think
seen
I
it,
think it
so-
is a good movie. It's a solid film.
Yeah,
I'd
and
watch
I-
again. It just was watched so much to the point of opinion.
It was ruined by the fandom.
I hate children.
Just like every-
Gay's fandom right now.
just like everything we love.
My
Yep.
TikTok feed right now is all like people making fun
And
of
then
people
they're
editing
trying-
themselves in.
Yeah.
Eddie Munson scenes.
We're running up the hills.
Yeah.
Stranger Things fans are trying to cancel Metallica, and it's enough.
Wait till
Actually, wait, that happened?
They have so long.
Because
They're
of
like
context
retired.
is they
Oh,
they played the song "Am I the Enemy" or I think Am I the Enemy in Berlin, like in the 90s after the Berlin Wall had fallen, and they were making fun of Hitler in Berlin and all that kind of stuff, and they did the Nazi walk on stage, and like people, it was like 11 and 13-year-olds getting all mad about it on TikTok.
Wait till
But
they actually go into metal.
it's like
There's-
if they look at a Motley Crue and all the stuff they've done, it's ridiculous. But, yeah, I mean,
I remember.
Satire
I remember
is
Netflix
dead.
doing a sign, like a billboard sign for the Umbrella Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, someone's going to die, and then all of the kids who are into Stranger Things are like, oh, I hope 11 dies in Stranger Things, and just like completely talking about Stranger Things, even though it was very clearly about an Umbrella Academy, because there was umbrellas all over the fucking billboard, and they're like, oh, Netflix only has Stranger Things, obviously. No other shows on there.
Yeah. But Jocelyn still has a lot more to say. So we deviated a little bit. Harkening back to the Frozen comment. When that came out, I remember everyone raving about it. It's not a bad movie, but it's just not great. The plot twist felt forced, and it was only used for shock factor, which felt disjointed from the rest of the story. The sister dynamic was handled better in Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Agree.
There are some scenes I really enjoy, but I feel like the hype for the song "Let It Go" carried the movie's popularity and made people think it's a better film than it actually is. There are many other Disney movies I would choose to watch over Frozen.
Coco's a better movie.
Tangled.
Tangled's a better movie.
Yeah.
And
Up
there's
is
a
an
lot. Like
amazing
just
movie.
So when you
Mulan,
look at
Aladdin,
Frozen
Lion
and
King.
that twist specifically, look at it in the lens of like Disney princess movies and what you expect to happen in a Disney princess movie. That twist was actually shocking because I was expecting to see like
That's true.
Tangled. I was expecting to see the just like what's gonna happen. They're gonna get in some trouble, but there's no one that's actually like clearly not evil.
But it's also a kids movie, so you
It
can't
is
go
a
too in
kids-
depth like
yeah.
a Tenet, or not a Tenet, or like an Inception, where there's the multiple layers that you gotta follow and stuff like that.
Hey, a lot of anime movies has done that and done it
Oh,
in
yeah.
a kids
For
movie
kids.
setting. Yes,
Are.
Yeah.
like it can work. You just gotta treat the audience with respect. I think that's what a lot of I think that's the issue with Marvel movies nowadays. They don't treat the audience with respect.
I agree.
They're like, oh, this audience, we shove the same thing over and over again.
They just
Yeah,
expect you to marvel at it.
there we go.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's deep. It's
there we
deep.
go.
my mind.
Deep.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I think Up is my favorite Disney movie, and then second favorite would be Tangled.
Would be my favorite. Actually,
So you would put Pixar within the whole.
Yeah.
Wait, Up,
Yeah.
Up was Up Pixar. Up was Pixar. Yeah.
Up is Pixar.
I'd say like Toy Story 2 and
Mm-hmm.
probably like
Yeah.
we'll know.
I got a really hot take for everyone.
All right, let's hear
There
it.
is this really, really good movie that really displays human, like who you are.
I don't know what this punchline is. I'm
So,
excited.
It's called Spaced Cats. It is one of the best movies ever created. The cats never leave the couch and they smoke weed the entire movie. And they're flying through space and the dialogue is awful and it melts your brain. Oh, they keep using the same shots over and over again.
No, the same animation.
The same animation.
It's the same animation.
shots.
The voice.
They're on a budget.
you
They're
can't.
on
You can't
less than the
okay.
budget.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack for Space Cat. That could even be a whole podcast episode. Diving through Space Cats and the whole story.
Brek and I
The,
actually went insane watching Space
I
Cats.
did.
We genuinely lost
We
our
st-
minds.
We started laughing at nothing. We started
I feel
laughing
the
at the
insanity of
commercials that occurred in between Space Cats.
psychedelic trip.
You can't. You just got to see it to believe it.
It's
and the writer,
truly awful.
the writer of that, Ruthless Productions. That's the name of the production company. They, I think last time I looked it up in 2020, I think they made 23 films, feature-length films, total. No, basically what they do.
Illuminati was another one. They're all Unity assets.
Unity assets, all the Space Cats, and like all the characters that they introduce, and the settings are all Unity assets, and they just had people like say the dialogue in like the most monotone way, or they're like, we can't do it justice.
But
We cannot do it justice.
It teaches you a lot about filmmaking.
Yeah, what not to? It tells you that if this exists, you can accomplish anything.
Yes, you can do
Unironically.
better than that.
I was looking up like Disney movies and I saw Inside.
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
I haven't seen
Good.
Very
Don't
good.
Watch it. Don't
I hear controversial takes about that movie.
Inside Out?
Fucking the happy one is the I don't remember her name. Like Joy
Joy.
is the fucking villain. She sucks.
Yeah, that's the point. No, I thought that was the point.
No, because a lot of people are like, oh no, like it's not her. It is her fault. Everything that happens.
Yeah,
in that movie is purely because of her.
It was
And
actually
it's
like
supposed to be
a
like good
three-dimensional film. That's why I thought it was good, because you can see like, oh, this is like, this character is kind of like villainous. And there's other people who are like, oh, she was like the best character, like such a good-hearted character.
Yeah, I liked the movie up until like people were like, oh, I loved her. She was so great. She was so kind. I was like, how do you see that?
That reminds me of people like relating to like Patrick Bateman in American Psycho or Rick from Rick and Morty or BoJack Horseman.
Because you know they haven't watched it, but they've seen clips, and they haven't.
That's so me. I do that.
Hey, if you want a movie that's like have characters that like the protagonists are not so villainous, I do recommend movies like Avengers Endgame, you know, and like Captain America, the first
I'm
Avenger.
gonna have to say High School Musical because
Got it.
Never
Favorite
mind.
Disney movie, Wall-E.
Oh yeah, I can.
Pretty
Yeah,
solid movie.
yeah, absolutely.
What else is Disney?
What you can achieve with very
That's
little
not
dialogue.
I want more controversial takes in the room right now. I want to hear some
Well,
really controversial
it's getting the podcast is getting a little long, so I'm down for a couple more takes.
let's just move to the next question. I wanna go home.
There's
Honestly,
I don't know. Okay, so
She just moved in.
okay.
I'm not done
We'll power
moving
through.
in.
We'll power through the last question.
Okay.
Okay. If you had a choice to star, create, or work on a film project, what genre would that project be and why?
Sci-fi.
That was quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would say sci-fi, and for me, I think my dream movie is directing a horror western. There's not enough of those out there.
Oh, yeah.
I can only think of one, maybe two at the top of my
What's a
head.
horror western that's really good?
Bone Tomahawk. Absolutely.
It is good.
It's good, but it is
it will
not for the
affect
faint
you.
of heart.
Yeah.
It has one of the most messed up deaths I've ever seen in my entire life depicted on film.
Yeah,
I showed it to
I
you.
would.
Yeah.
In
It's
in my film class, I forget the name of it, but they were like talking about how you can blend genres like that, and they mentioned some horror western where it's vampires and they're also cowboys, and so they're like constantly shooting at each other. I wish I could tell you
Vampires
this
versus
about it.
cowboy.
Do y'all know the director Chloe Zhao? She did Nomadland, and she did most recently Eternals, which was not great, but Nomadland was very good.
Yeah,
I
it was
like
good.
Nomadland a lot.
Very good.
She's directing a western, futuristic western that involves vampires. Apparently,
That's
the
in her style.
rumored.
That sounds cool.
that would be really interesting. I
Sounds
can't wait
very
for that.
bleak and
Right.
big spaces and.
Or Marvel has taken up her brain and
Oh,
she's
God.
making a Marvel
What
movie.
I would love to
movies.
see. What I would love to see is like the dusty, like sun dried corpses kind of like start moving around. You know, the mummies, and you see the gums and the teeth move.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool to see those.
For Jocelyn's answer, she said, I have two answers for this one. The non-serious answer would be to act in a superhero movie. It would be so cool to see the final project, see me flying and shooting fireballs or something crazy like that. But the serious answer would be a slow-building horror or thriller film. Something that would require require more realistic acting and creates a lot of tension. I really enjoy watching films like that, so that it would be amazing if I could act in one, and it would be a fun challenge. And if my character dies, that would be a bonus.
Okay, if I were directing it, I want it to be sci-fi. If I were acting in it, I want it to be really abstract, surreal, like Adult Swim kind of.
Why not combine both?
I mean,
You could be one of those like directors who always the lead actor.
Oh, I'm literally talking about. Oh, wait, no, okay. But we were talking about this during one of the back shoots. A Lovecraftian spy movie
Yes.
would be so cool. That is one of the coolest ideas I've ever.
Because I think I said this on the previous podcast where we did the Directors Roundtable, that the spy movie genre is heavily underutilized right now.
It is.
Because we got typical spy movies like Casino Royale, Skyfall, James Bond, and Mission Impossible. But something like Tenet, that's getting somewhere to like
was really
very interesting.
Tenet was really good.
Really good. I think there's a lot of issues with it.
Do y'all like The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yes,
I did.
Man from
I thought-
Uncle, super fun.
I thought it was like it kind of took it back from James Bond and all that kind of stuff and threw it back to that like retro. I mean, it's based on
A lot of-
60s TV show.
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, it was a 60s TV show, wasn't it?
It's
That
based
Man
on-
from
it-
Uncle.
well,
It was a
is based
prequel,
on- yes.
I believe, to the
But it's
TV
like
show.
that classic suave like spy that can do it all with like Henry Cavill being like the handsome guy and stuff like that, and pulling off like big heists or big missions and stuff like that and being stealthy. It's so cool.
Archer is also really fun because it parodies a lot of that.
It parody, didn't it parody like all action films pretty much?
Yeah. I lost track once they started doing different like worlds with the same characters.
I watched through those recently. Those are good. They were actually the standalone stories were really good. I stopped watching when they put those out, but I regret that. Looking back now, they were good.
I think for me, currently, the type of like movies or like films that I would really like to do are like angsty films. Like ones that's just like, starts off pretty okay, and then like as it keeps going, you're just like getting gut punch after gut punch, and it just that's what I I really like. So
Yo, Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Like
Yeah.
that movie was a consistent gut punch.
It was constant anxiety.
It's like it's so many layers to build it. It's like I paid this guy so I could pay off this other person. I'm borrowing this so I can pay this other guy back, and it's just so much going on. But for me, I wish there's so many different things like thriller, like historical, or like a war drama or something like that. It's just like my interests all, and it's like I always get sucked into those really good war movies like 1917 or.
Do you have a favorite war movie? Would 1917 be it?
I don't know. It might be like Saving Private Ryan, but I've fallen into there's like HBO shows that
Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers, The Pacific. There's Generation Kill, and they do a very good job because you have 5 to 10 hours to tell a whole story, and they do it like a movie. It's not like a typical TV show. Every episode has like a central plot point and all that kind of stuff, and it's shot just like a movie too. But it's like, so if I could be part of something like that where you're on set for 6 to 9 months, like, and with the same people, and it's so much fun.
Also, I would suggest for kind of an angsty movie where it's just gut punch after gut punch. It's not quite as angsty because of the characters' reactions, but Bronson is kind of like it has a similar kind of pacing, but his reactions are different. You see what I mean?
I do.
For Brek?
I do.
That's kind of what it is.
Kind of is, but Bronson is definitely, I would honestly say it's more of an acquired taste compared to Uncut Gems.
I love Bronson.
It's very, very stylistic.
It's one of my. I almost said it was my favorite movie.
I thought you said at one point it was.
It's still Annihilation though.
Fair enough.
Annihilation beats it
Yeah,
out.
that's fair. That's fair. Did y'all say?
Did you want to go?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm barely.
she just wants to go. She
I
just
know.
wants to go.
I just.
I'll answer
moved
this and then we
in,
can
and I
wrap up.
haven't.
All right.
I don't know about starring or acting, but I think directing any form of sci-fi or fantasy would be super cool. Especially writing that would be super cool because then you can see your ideas kind of actually come into a visual.
Western
The
fantasy.
sky.
Yeah, I think like this on the level of like Blade Runner, like dystopian, like cyberpunky aesthetics are.
Would Blade Runner
Up
be
my alley,
considered
for sure.
like a sci-fi western?
No, it's more of a neo noir. There are a lot
Yeah,
of noir
noir.
aspects.
I've been writing a sci-fi story for a long time now, about a year and a half. You know how Star Wars is like analog sci-fi? I want a kind of similar sci-fi but digital, because I feel like sci-fi is really slacked on the digital side.
So, I think I'm gonna end it here because that's actually a good. Do you want to say something?
Actually, so I love Bjork. She's one of my favorite musical artists of all time, and I would love to at least like design creatures for, of course, like a film like Avatar or a body horror that works with like these beautiful creatures, but also kind of stretching the limits as to what we can recognize as the human shape, and just warping in between, and try to, with the amazing technology that we have and what we can make from with what we have, try to depict Lovecraftian monsters, like using data moshing techniques to show like the human mind going insane, or like using AI to kind of create specific effects or like creatures are modeled onto an animated puppet, I would love to do something like that.
Yeah. Okay. What you were saying about the there's a lot of amazing topics that went on throughout the podcast today, and in the future, I think the best thing to do is build upon those topics. The biggest one I want to do next in the future is digital versus analog, because I know that you're more you like digital more, some of the digital like science fiction. I like analog science fiction, like Blade Runner and something like that, more where to take old.
Okay, but tell me what good digital sci-fi is there?
No, we gotta save it, man. We gotta save it for the
Tell me
archive.
one movie, real
Next
quick.
time.
One movie. What's one good digital sci-fi?
I can't say movie, but Westworld.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Westworld. The first 2 seasons were pretty. The first season was really.
Absolutely, first season's amazing, masterpiece.
Right.
All right.
All right.
So yeah, hopefully catch more episodes in the future. This is your host Brek. These are the officers of SWAMP Fall 2022 semester, and we'll see you all later.